times than we are here in the US. And they announced that both The Legend of Zelda for Wii U and the NX are both going to be delayed until 2017. As I posted on our website, first one
Number 5.
is Little Nemo the Dream Master. Now, by the look of the box art of the game, so let me tell you a little bit about Golf. Golf is a sports simulation video game released in 1984 for the NES. This is Jeff of N Video Games back for another episode of the Ncast, our live weekly Nintendo podcast. This week is the Ice Climber podcast. Ice Climber is a vertical platform video game developed and published by Nintendo for the Family Computer in Japan and the Nintendo Entertainment System in North America in 1985. In Ice Climber, the characters Popo and Nana, collectively known as Ice Climbers, venture up 32 ice-covered mountains to recover stolen vegetables from a giant condor. In some European countries, the NES console was sold bundled with the game, increasing Ice Climber's familiarity outside Japan. An alternate version was released in the arcades as part of the Versus series known as Versus Ice Climber. It includes gameplay features not found in the home console release, such as an animated title screen, stage select menu, 16 additional mountains, occasional blizzard and wind effects, more enemy characters, and bonus multiplier items. The first player controls Popo, a boy wearing a blue Eskimo parka, while the second player controls Nana, a girl wearing a pink one. The only tool they carry is a wooden mallet to carve openings in ice above and to club enemies. Each mountain level consists of 8 layers of colorful ice and a bonus stage. Standard dull ice blocks pose no threat other than an easily disposed of barrier and platform. Square ice blocks with higher detail are indestructible, forcing the player to take another path. Hatch ice acts as a conveyor belt, sliding the Eskimo either left or right. Finally, many mountains include unbreakable moving platforms resembling clouds. The bonus stage takes place at the peak. Within a 40-second time limit and no enemies, the ice climbers often face trickier jumps and multiple moving platforms. The peak is also the only place to recover stolen vegetables, most notably eggplants. Collecting just one piece of corn from the 5th bonus stage is the only way to gain an extra life. At the top of the peak, the condor flies overhead. Ice Climber was developed by Nintendo R&D 1, published by Nintendo, directed by Kenji Miki, produced by Masayuki Umura, composed by Akito Nakasuka. It's been released on the Famicom and NES, the NEC PC 8801, the Sharp X1 arcade, the Family Computer Disk System, the Game Boy Advance, the e-reader, and Virtual Console. The NES release came out on October 18th, 1985, and it's available, as I mentioned, on Virtual Console for the Wii, the 3DS, and the Wii U. It is a platform game. It has single player and multiplayer modes, and it is also an arcade game, as I mentioned. So that is Ice Climber. And of course, they were fighters in a few of the Smash Bros. Games as well. So, for releases next week, on Wii U, we have The Book of Unwritten Tales 2 coming out on June 7th. That is Tuesday. Then on 3DS on June 10th, which is Friday, we have Kirby Planet Robobot. Also on Wii U in North America next week, on June 9th, is Olympia Rising. Then in Europe, on June 7th, The Book of Unwritten Tales 2 is coming out there the same day in Europe on Wii U. On 3DS, we have Puzzle Labyrinth coming out on June 9th in North America. And in Japan, we have on the June 8th, Touch Battle Sensha 3D4 Double Commander. Then that's on 3DS on June 8th. On June 9th on 3DS in Japan, we have Gyukuten Saiban 6. That's Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney 6. Spirit of Justice. And also the same day, we have the new Nintendo 3DS XL, the pink and white model. Then in Europe, they're getting Kirby Planet Robobot on June 10th as well. Also on June 10th, Nintendo is releasing several different amiibo. There's the Animal Crossing Isabelle Winter Outfit amiibo and the Animal Crossing Isabelle Summer Outfit amiibo. And there's also the Kirby series amiibo releasing the same day as well. And for that you have King Dedede, Meta Knight, Waddle Dee, and Kirby. All those will be available on Friday, June 10th. And that's all the releases for next week. The ones that are announced so far anyway. Alright, moving on to the news of the week. We had a trailer release for Kick and Finnick. This is from Nintendo. And Nintendo described the game as Kick and Finnick is an action-filled adventure about Kick, a young boy who's battling to help his robot companion Finnick. Join them as they blast, bounce, and bound their way through 45 challenging levels. Adding a unique twist to the gameplay, Kick's gun not only blasts baddies, but its recoil can also be used to launch the lad into and through various areas of each level. Puzzles, platforms, and power-ups await in Kick and Finnick. And that came out this past week on the Wii U. We've got some gameplay footage for the Wii U version of Mighty Number 9. This is from a stream that was held on Nico Nico. It's from the Japanese version of the game, and there's about 45 minutes to check out. And you can check that out on our website at nvideogames.com along with the Kick and Finnick trailer that I mentioned before. So pre-orders have been opened for the Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword Link figure. It's a 1/7 scale figure, and you can pre-order it from Good Smile or Tokyo Otaku Mode. And Good Smile has it for 15,800 yen, which is about $143.34. And Good Smile. And Tokyo Otaku Mode has it for $160.99. Good Smile says it's going to be releasing in November of this year, whereas Tokyo Otaku Mode says it's releasing in February of next year. We've got the European Nintendo download for you this week. What did Europe get? Well, on the Wii U eShop, they got Kick and Finnick. Kick and Finnick is a platform adventure about a little boy with a very special gun. Soon after waking up in a desolate but colorful world, Kick meets a small flying robot named Finnick. When Finnick saves Kick from a menacing guard robot, they find out Finnick's battery is broken. Together they embark on an adventure to the core tower to find Finnick a new energy core. They got sales on Art of Balance, Rockin' Racing Off-Road, 99 Seconds, Darts Up, Epic Dumpster Bear, Puzzle Monkeys, Jones on Fire, and Queen's Garden. They got some new DLC for Fire Emblem Fates on the 3DS. There's map number 4, which is called Ghostly Gold. In Ghostly Gold, a good deed quickly turns hairy, but your generosity will be amply rewarded. And they got map 5, which is called Museum Melee. Museum Melee features an extraplanar collection of fine ornaments. You can take a few of them home with you, provided you can beat the other challengers to the prize. A new 3DS home theme, it's called Ashley's Magic, and that was available as of yesterday. The witch Ashley practices magic under a full moon. Scroll the touchscreen to see her haunted mansion and her demon pal Red. For 3DS sales, they got those for 3D Mahjong, Garden Escapes, Murder on the Titanic, Safari Quest, Parascientific Escape Cruise in the Distant Seas, Wake Daz, Football Up Online, Battle Miner, The Magic Hammer, and Toy Stunt Bike. And there's a permanent price drop this week for 3DS, and that is for Glory of Generals, but that's not available in Germany. And the final release for Europe this week is on the 3DS Virtual, the new 3DS Virtual Console, and that is Donkey Kong Country 3: Dixie Kong's Double Trouble. Donkey Kong and Diddy have been captured by the Kremlin, so it's Dixie Kong and new sidekick Kiddy to the rescue. In the final part of the classic Donkey Kong Country trilogy, take control of Dixie and Kiddy and use their unique abilities to traverse treacherous terrain, seek out elusive banana birds, and defeat the Kremlin's new master, Chaos. We got some screenshots, concept art, and a story trailer for Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse. And the story is described by Atlas as: the story of Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse is one of human pawns being shuffled across a chessboard by the higher deities. One lone hunter, the game's protagonist, pact with a lesser god, is brought back to life in exchange for his pledge of servitude. From there, the protagonist allies with other hunters in the ruins of post-apocalyptic Tokyo, beginning a plot that crosses over with the events of the original Shin Megami Tensei 4. So, in regards to how the game fits in with the original Shin Megami Tensei 4, Atlas said, quote, "It overlaps the ending of Shin Megami Tensei 4 and continues things from there. It's also told from a different perspective. Completely new story in a standalone game," end quote. And you can check out the screenshots, concept art, and trailer on our website, nvideogames.com. Speaking of trailers, we got a new one for Dragon Ball Fusions. That's a 3DS title that's supposed to be coming out in Japan on August 4th. They haven't announced a Western release date for it just yet, but you can check out the trailer on our website, as well as a cleaner version of the game's logo. So it was announced that the Delusions of von Sottendorf and a Square Mine is going to be featured at this year's IndieCade Showcase at E3. And this is the first Spanish-developed game to ever be featured at the event. And the company that is behind this title is based out of Basque, and they are called Delirium Studios. And the game was released on the 3DS eShop last year, and you can get a digital copy of the game on the eShop for $12.99. And they're also planning to talk about their next game at the event as well. And you can read the full press release on our website. We got some new Famitsu scans for the week of May 22nd. And for that week, we have new scans for Dragon Quest X, Monster Hunter Freedom Frontier G, and the first part of a Dragon Quest retrospective feature that Famitsu is doing, looking at all 11 of the Dragon Quest games. And you can check those out on our website. We got some news this week that the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess manga will be released in English. The English version is going to be published by Viz Media, and it will be released in German as well. And that will be published by Tokyo Pop Deutschland. And the Western dates haven't been announced just yet, but the first volume is scheduled to be released in Japan on the 24th of June. And we have an image of the Japanese cover you can check out on our website. We got some dates for some upcoming collectibles from the World of Nintendo series. This is from Jakks Pacific. Of course, they're the company that puts those out. Let's see here. So, right now you can get Tanuki Mario, Male Villager, Cat Luigi, Samus, Chain Chomp, Red Pikmin, Goomba, and Red Shy Guy. Then in September there's more coming out, and those are a Metroid, White Tanuki Mario, Bob-omb, Tom Nook, Orange Squid, Red Yoshi, Ice Flower Mario, and Fire Flower Luigi. Then the newest wave, which is possibly coming out in the winter, though that's not confirmed just yet, will be Green Squid, KK Slider, Blooper, Toad, and a Bone Piranha Plant. And you can check out images of the figures on our website. Speaking of figures, there's a new Pokemon figure coming out in Japan, and that features Red and Pikachu. Red, of course, is the main character from the original Pokemon games, and Pikachu, you know who he is, of course. And the figure was shown off at the Mega Hobby Expo 2016 spring that was recently held in Japan. And this figure is part of the Art FX line from Kotobukiya. And that company has been around since 1989. So this is the latest in that line of figures from them. They haven't announced the release date just yet, and they haven't announced if it's going to come west or not, but you'll probably be able to import it even if it doesn't. And the figure is 1/8 scale. So we got information about a new update for the Pokken Tournament Arcade version. The update adds in new support Pokemon and ways to customize your character, and you can give them new outfits and titles. And Kuragunk, however you say that, and Sylveon are two of the support Pokemon that are being added, and they had previously been exclusive to the Wii U version. And you can unlock them in an event on the arcade version that's running until June 12th. Ms. Magius and Ninetales are re-added as support Pokemon as well. They had already been in the game before, but they were taken out, and now they're back. And you can use the support focused cheer skill now as well. We've got a new Japanese TV commercial for Puzzle and Dragons X. You can check that out on our website. That is a upcoming 3DS game from Gung Ho, and it's going to be available in 2 different versions: Puzzle and Dragons X Kami no Shou and Puzzle and Dragons X Ryo no Shou. Puzzle and Dragons X is scheduled for release on July 28th in Japan. So, fans of Pokemon in Hong Kong are pissed off about some name changes for the game. Nintendo is trying to make the naming unified in China and worldwide, basically. And of course, China has different versions of the same language. There's traditional Chinese, simplified Chinese, and so the people in Hong Kong are mad about the name changes. Previously, there have been different translations for each part of China for the games and the characters in the games, but now Nintendo wants to unify them. So, according to courts, Pokemon in Greater China will be officially called Jingling Bakuming in Mandarin. Jingling means spirit or elf, and Bakuming is a transliteration of Pokemon. Before, in Hong Kong, they were called pet little elves or spirits, while in Taiwan they were called magic babies. So, a man named Wang Yongtat, the founder of a group called Civic Passion, which is a radical localist group which seeks independence from China, he said, quote, "Our culture and language is threatened by the Beijing government. Mandarin and simplified Chinese. We're afraid Cantonese may be disappearing." So Pikachu is also being renamed, and previously in Hong Kong he was called Bia Kachu Chuyu. My Chinese is not anywhere good at all, so if I'm saying that wrong, sorry about that. So his name is being changed to Pikachui. So the Mandarin characters in the name are somewhat similar to the sound that Pikachu makes, or the sound of Pikachu, rather. The pronunciation, though, is different for Cantonese. In Cantonese, it becomes P-E-Ka-Jiao. And as you can tell, it's very different from the Pikachui. Pikachui, Pika-Jiao. Quite different, and that's why one of the reasons why they're mad, because they feel like that the government is trying to get rid of Cantonese and just make traditional and simplified Chinese the standard, Mandarin and that kind of thing. So you can understand why they're mad. There's another protester named Cho Sung-tak. He's an 18-year-old high school graduate, and he said, quote, "Nintendo should respect our local culture," end quote. He was asked about why he was protesting, and he said, quote, to defend local language, end quote. He also said he would be boycotting Nintendo if they didn't change their renaming plans, and that's something that other protesters had apparently agreed with. And they've even set up a community on Facebook to talk about the changes, and they want to get a localized game with the same regional language differences they've had before. And they've also started a petition as well, which at the time we wrote this article had over 6,000 fans that had signed. You can check out a couple of pictures from the protests as well on our website. So there's going to be a new 3DS home theme and merchandise coming for Azure Striker Gunvolt 2, according to Famitsu. And the theme is going to be available through a code giveaway in Famitsu, and it will have music from the game, which is going to be from the beginning of the game when you play as Copen. Fangamer is going to be selling Azure Striker Gunvolt 2 theme merchandise on their website soon as well. And one of the items you'll be able to purchase is the game soundtrack. And you can check out some images of all of these things on our website, nvigames.com. So Nintendo put out a new trailer for Kirby Planet Robobot. It's called the Robobot Rampage trailer. And you can check that out on our website. It's part of the marketing for the game's upcoming release on June 10th. We got a new commercial for Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice. This is a Japanese TV commercial, which of course the game's coming out soon. It's going to be out next Thursday in Japan, June 9th. And the game is supposed to come out in September here in the West. So you can check out the Japanese commercial on our website. So our friend Moldy Clay has updated his Amiibo compatibility chart. It's up to version 9 now, and you can check that out on our website as well as on his Twitter account. He's let me make sure I give you his right Twitter handle. It's @MoldyClay is his Twitter handle, so you can follow him on there as well. He updates that pretty regularly with all the new changes, so be sure to follow him on Twitter to keep up to date with the Amiibo compatibility. So we got some UK sales charts for the week ending on May 28th. Not a whole lot of action for Nintendo platforms this week, but this week we had LEGO Marvel Avengers and LEGO Jurassic World that appeared on Nintendo platforms on the chart. The rest of the games were not even on Wii U or 3DS. Lots of multi-platform games like on PS4 and Xbox One, for example. So LEGO Marvel Avengers was number 11 on the chart, and LEGO Jurassic World was number 15. The Avengers game was down 2 spots from the week before, and Jurassic World was up 2 spots from the week before, so they kind of swapped a little bit. Not a true swap, because they're it's not swapping 1-to-1, but they both moved 2 places in opposite directions. So Natsume announced a new Harvest Moon game for Nintendo 3DS, and it is called Harvest Moon Skytree Village, and it's going to be playable at this year's E3 event. And they also provided the logo for the game as well, which you can check out on our website. And we also have a full press release that talks about it as well. So some of the key features in the game: you'll be able to play as a boy or girl. You can woo bachelorettes and bachelors and start a family. It will have a completely new story with tons of interesting new characters. There'll be new crops and flowers to discover. There's new fishing mechanics. You can expand waterways and catch rarer fish. And there's a full town of many residents, each with their own personalities and quirks. So Nintendo and Vans are releasing their collaboration shoes this week. They are scheduled to come out yesterday. There's a whole bunch of different ones you can get. They come in the Skate High Slim, Authentic, Old School, and Classic slip-on formats. And there's ones that feature Super Mario Bros., Donkey Kong, The Legend of Zelda, Princess Peach, Duck Hunt, the NES controller, and more. So you can check out pictures of those on our website. NeoGAF has unearthed the floor plans for the E3 event, and even though Nintendo, at the time we wrote this article, had only announced they were only having one playable game at the show, they still have about a quarter of the show floor for their booth, which is pretty funny. And the user on NeoGAF, Rusty, I'm not sure if I said that right, but anyways, he thinks that they might have also reserved the theater at Nintendo. Of course, Nintendo is going to show off Zelda Wii U, and as I mentioned, they had not confirmed when I wrote this if anything else is going to be shown, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But you can check out the floor plans on our website. Another game that's going to be playable at E3 this year is Sonic Boom Fire and Ice from Sega. It's a 3DS title scheduled to be released on September 27th. And it's going to be the first playable version of the game available semi-publicly. And there's going to be a special edition of sorts of the game as well. That's called the Sonic Boom Fire and Ice Launch Edition. And this version of the game is going to be available at launch, obviously. And it will come with episodes of the Sonic Boom TV show on a DVD. It's going to have 3 episodes, and those episodes are It Wasn't Me, It Was the One-Armed Hedgehog, Chilly Dog Day Afternoon, and It Takes a Village to Defeat a Hedgehog. And you can check out the full press release on our website. So we got a new story trailer and artwork for Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE, and you can check those out on our website, as well as a synopsis of the story. So this year, of course, is the 20th anniversary of Pokemon, and as part of that celebration, there's going to be a mythical Manaphy Pokemon event, and there's a promo video that you can check out on our website for that. So recently, Capcom did a live stream for Monster Hunter Stories on their YouTube channel. There's over 2 hours of footage, conversation, and merchandise discussion. It's in Japanese, of course, but you can still check out footage in the video, so you can check that out on our website, nvideogames.com. Nintendo recently did a first look video on his channel for a game on Wii U called Great Race. This is a racing title from Barnhouse Effect, and it was just released this week in Japan, and you can check that out on our website and on his YouTube channel. Yes, and we also have some screenshots we captured from his video as well. Speaking of Japan, we got some eShop trailers for this week for some new Virtual Console titles. Japan this week got Guranbo on the Wii U Virtual Console. Guranbo, also known as Granbo, is an RPG from Capcom that's originally released on the Game Boy Advance in 2001. Japan also got Meijin Tensei 2 Spiral Nemesis, and that's a strategy game from Atlas that was originally released on the Super Famicom in 1995. And you can check out trailers for both of those on our website. For the North American Nintendo download this week, well, what did we get? Well, we got Kick Infinite on the Wii U. Kick Infinite is an action-filled adventure about Kick, a young boy battling to help his robot companion Finnick. Join them as they blast, bounce, and bound their way through 45 challenging levels. A unique twist to the gameplay, Kick's gun not only blasts baddies, but its recoil can also be used to launch the lad through various areas of each level. Puzzles, platforms, and power-ups await in Kick Infinite. On the Wii U Virtual Console, we got Metroid Prime Hunters. This was originally on the Nintendo DS, of course. A ferocious race, now extinct, has left behind relics of its once powerful warrior culture. Now 6 fierce bounty hunters from across the galaxy will challenge Samus in a race to claim these relics in hopes of harnessing their power for themselves. We got Wii U eShop sales for Stoneshire, Rockin' Racing Off-Road, The Perplexing Orb, Art of Bounce, Trine 2 Director's Cut, Trine Enchanted Edition, Epic Dumpster Bear, Puzzle Monkeys, Land It Rocket, Life of Pixel, Explodey Bomb, Hold Your Fire, a game about responsibility, Astral Breakers, Emoji Kara, a clever emoji match game, which there's a typo in that. I don't know if I did that or Nintendo did, but either way there's a typo. Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, DuckTales Remastered, Jones on Fire, miscellaneous titles from Capcom, and miscellaneous titles from Join Dots. Other Wii U releases this week include B3 Game Expo for Bees and 153 Hand Video Poker. We got a new DLC map for Fire Emblem Fates. This is the Endless Dawn map, led by Shiguri. The party storms the enemy. Part 5 of the Heirs of Fate for the Fire Emblem Fates Birthright and Fire Emblem Fates Conquest games is now available for $1.99. And of course you can get the map pack 2 as well for $7.99. Which will give you all the maps as they release. It's part of map pack 2 anyway. I'm sure they'll do probably a third map pack after that. So in the 3DS eShop, we got sales for Parascientific Escape Cruise in the Distant Seas, Wake Daz, Music on Electronic Guitar, Sedami, The Magic Hammer, Toy Stunt Bike, Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, Murder on the Titanic, and miscellaneous titles from Wobbly 2 Ltd, Capcom, and Join Dots. Other 3DS releases this week, the only one is Snakes. On the new 3DS Virtual Console, we got Donkey Kong Country 3, Dixie's Double Trouble. That was originally on the Super Nintendo, of course. And the third game in the Super NES Donkey Kong Country trilogy, Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong have gone missing. Play as Dixie Kong or Kiddy Kong and take advantage of each of their unique abilities as they throw each other into action in more than 40 levels. So we got some new details about Pokemon Sun and Moon this week. Nintendo has unveiled the game's mascots, and they are going to be legendary Pokemon, and they are called Solgaleo and Lunala. And Solgaleo is a Psychic Steel Pokemon, and Lunala is a Psychic Ghost Pokemon. Solgaleo has an ability called Full Metal Body, and Lunala has an ability called Shadow Shield. In the game, you can customize your name or appearance of your player character, and you can be a male or female. And the games will have a new professor called Professor Kukui, and his assistant is named Lily. Hal is another character that you'll meet, and he will become good friends with your main character. they've changed the Pokedex a bit this time as well, and it's called a Rotom Pokedex. And it's called this because there's a creature named Rotom that lives inside it. And Rotom is a Pokemon itself, and one of its abilities is it can hide in electronic devices. So the new Pokedex will do the usual things like give you info about various Pokemon and show you your current location, but it's also going to give you advice and help you figure out your next task of where you'll be going. And both games are going to have the ability to scan QR codes. So these QR codes you scan will give you information about Pokemon when you scan them, and you can store these on your Pokedex and help you find those Pokemon. If you haven't caught them in the game yet, you can get more info about where you might find them and track them down. They also released a new trailer as well as some artwork for the game, and you can check that out on our website at nvideogames.com. So we got the Media Crate sales for the week of May 23rd. These are from Media Crate and Famitsu. Over on Media Crate, there were 16 Nintendo 3DS games, and Wii U had 6 titles in the top 50. For Famitsu, 3DS had 8 titles in the top 30, and Wii U had 3 games in the top 30. Kirby Planet Robobot was the highest ranked Nintendo game on both charts, and it was the it's ranked number 6 on both charts. Sorry, I was trying to interpret what I wrote here. So Super Mario Maker is nearing the 1 million units sold mark in Japan. It's just under 900,000 units sold since it released. Meanwhile, Dragon Quest Monsters Joker 3 is going to hit 600,000 units soon, if it hasn't already. And Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire is going to probably hit 3 million copies sold before the end of the year. Now, for the hardware side of things, the 3DS was 3rd overall for the week, and it sold over 13,000 units. Wii U was way behind, but still in 4th overall at 4,000 units for the week. Around 4,000. So that's nearly 18,000 units combined for the week. Both are up slightly from the week before, but they're still a bit behind from the same week last year. So you can check out the full breakdown for all the games and the numbers on our website. So Nintendo has announced more games that are going to be shown at E3 this year, and just as I previously speculated and pretty much assumed, Nintendo was going to show more than just Zelda. That wouldn't make much sense for them to have all that space and show just Zelda. So during the Treehouse Live at E3 event, they're going to be showing more games, as I mentioned, and those are Dragon Quest VII, Fragments of the Forgotten Past, Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE, and Monster Hunter Generations. Of course, Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE comes out at the end of this month, so that's pretty much done. And of course, we've already heard about most of these games before, but maybe we'll get some more details about them and maybe get a confirmed release date for Dragon Quest VII Fragments of the Forgotten Past. Hopefully they'll show unannounced games as well, but that's not confirmed, obviously, since they're unannounced. Because if they don't have anything unannounced to show, then people are going to be pissed, because that's happened in years past, and people were pissed then. But either way, we'll be hosting the Nintendo Treehouse stream on our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/nvideogames, and it will be embedded on our website at nvideogames.com as well for all 3 days of Nintendo's Treehouse event. So speaking of Monster Hunter, there's a limited edition that was announced for Monster Hunter Stories. This is already up for pre-order at Capcom's online store in Japan, and it's going to include the game, of course, a soundtrack CD, a necklace, an art book, and a collector's box. And it's not confirmed for the West just yet, just for Japan, but the limited edition is going to be available for 8,300 yen, and the standard version is available for 5,800 yen. And you can pre-order both of those in the Capcom online store, as I mentioned. And there's also going to be some 3DS cover plates as well as a 3DS system case themed with Monster Hunter Stories. And they released official pictures of the amiibo figures that are coming out for the game, as well as the amiibo diorama. So you can check those out on our website. So we got a new rumor about Nintendo NX this week. According to Digitimes, Nintendo NX was delayed to add virtual reality features to the system. Nintendo has delayed production of the system from the middle part of this year to the end of this year and the end of next year, or I'm sorry, the beginning of next year, because they want to add VR functionality. And the reason Nintendo is supposedly doing this is because it's the current trend in the industry, and they think it will help them compete with their competitors. And it said they're also working on to improve the portable console hybrid concept that had been previously rumored. According to the sources at Digitimes, NX is going to have a display, which isn't that surprising given what Nintendo's done ever since the Nintendo DS days. The DS, the 3DS, and the Wii U all have displays. And according to Digitimes sources, the display is going to be between 5 to 7 inches in size, and the device will have controls on it, and it can also be connected to a TV where you can use it as a home console. So it sounds like it's going to be similar to a Wii U gamepad that you can take with you, and you can connect the gamepad directly to your TV. You don't have to have a separate system to do so. That's what it sounds like according to Digitimes sources. So it also was rumored that Nintendo has lowered their production order for the system as well. They lowered it from 20 million down to 9.5 to 10 million. This is because of Wii U's lower than expected sales volume, and that Nintendo feels that the console market isn't as big as it used to be. So as far as production for the system, Foxconn is going to be handling more than 40% of it, and the rest is going to be split amongst Misumi and Hosiden. I don't know if I said that right, but anyways. The components are being produced by Micronix, Foxconn, Delta Electronics, and Pixar Imaging. And that is it for the news this week. That's all we got for you, and we've got a wide range of videos on our website and YouTube channel as well that you can check out on there at nvideogames.com. So thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/nvideogaming, or on Twitter at twitter.com/nvideogames. And you can check us out on the web at nvideogames.com for Nintendo news, screenshots, trailers, and lots more good stuff like that. And don't forget to subscribe to us here on YouTube to follow our videos. We post new ones every day except for Sundays, and we also post recorded versions of our live streams as well. So again, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and game on.